Good morning, everyone. Anne here from Atmosphere for our Pilates class today. Just make sure that you keep your breath happening. That's really important. Also, if anything doesn't feel right, just stop the exercise. But we do want to have endurance in these exercises as well. So we want you to actually push yourself a little bit. So if you're feeling muscle activation, muscle burning, muscle shaking, that's fantastic. If there's any pain in the neck, back, or joints, just stop. So let's get started by doing a few stretches first. So we might start with a hip flexor stretch. So come down to a kneeling position if you can. Keeping the hips level, tucking the bottom under, reaching the crown of the head up to the ceiling, and just feel that light stretch in the hip flexor. And again, it's early, don't force it, just a gentle stretch. You can bring that arm up, the leg that's back, and just reach back slightly till you get a little bit more of a stretch. And we'll hold it here for about 5 breaths. So inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. Release it there for me. And just bring that front leg further out, keeping the hips level, poke the bottom back, and just give that hamstring a light stretch. Okay, so just go to your level. You can bring your hands lower if you need, but if they're feeling quite tight, don't force it. Press the hips back, eye line straight down towards those toes. And let's breathe for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it there and let's swap it over to the other leg. So first hip flexor stretch. So set it up to that 90-90 position. Just check the hips are level. Tuck the pubic bone under. Just reach that hip forward till you get your stretch. And if you need to, you can add the arm up and reach back. Breathing. And just really imagine that muscle stretching from the front of the hip right up into the abdominals there for you. 3, 2, 1. Release it there. Just bring that other leg out a little bit further, the front leg, sorry, and reach the bottom back. This is my tight one, so I'm just not going to go very far for me. So remember, when a muscle's cold, we don't want to overstretch it. It's just a gentle stretch. Let's hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it there for me. Okay, just come down to the floor, onto your back, and we'll get started. So I really want you to concentrate on that breath. So first, feet comfortably away from the bottom, tripods on the feet. Find your neutral spine. Open up the palms towards the ceiling so the shoulders are open. Back of the neck long and chin in. So don't think of any abdominal activation just yet. I want you to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you're doing that, keep going, relaxing the neck and shoulders, opening the back of the throat as you breathe in, and sigh the breath all the way out. Now really concentrate on breathing into the sides and back of the rib cage so they're expanding. And breathe out. Feel those ribs close. So now breathe in. Exhale. First, lift the pelvic floor. Draw those lower abdominals in. The lower back meets those lower abdominals. As you exhale all the air out, close the ribs. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, pelvic floor, transverse abdominis, back, ribs. Keep going. Practice really closing those ribs on that last bit of breath. We don't want them to close at the beginning. We want you to lift the pelvic floor 30%, draw those lower abdominals like a corset 30%, the back meeting the abdominals, and the ribs closing. Feel the shoulders open, the back of the neck long, and the chin in. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, right leg to tabletop. Float the arms up towards the ceiling, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Tap the toe to the floor and take the arms behind you and then coming back up. So exhale to lower, inhale to raise. Keep going for me, floating those arms back as you're tapping that toe towards the floor. The other leg tripods on the foot, and the opposite hip is staying down. There's no rocking through that pelvis. Ribs to hips as you extend the arms all the way back and feel the armpits open up. That stops the shoulders from going up towards the ears. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg back up to tabletop and arms up towards the ceiling. Take the arms back as you extend that leg out to 45 degrees. Bend the leg, float the arms back in. Exhale out, ribs to hips, inhale in. Keep going, pointing and reaching through that leg, extending the knee. Keeping that pelvis still, drawing the lower abdominals to pull the pubic bone through to stop the back from arching, and the ribs drawing towards the hips to stop the back from arching. Take the arms back as far as you can without the ears coming up towards the shoulders. And using that breath, blowing all the air out to close the ribs. Let's do 2 more here. Last one here. Bring the hands back up towards the ceiling and leg in tabletop. Keeping the arms here, take the leg out to 45 degrees. Lower the leg, bring it back up and draw it in. And again, out, down, up, and in. Reaching through the toes, controlling that leg. Shoulders down and back. Arms are light, shoulder blades are heavy. 3 more. No rocking through that pelvis. Last 2, pointing and reaching. Last one here. Bring that leg back in, lower the arms, lower the legs. So let's do the other side. So pressing that leg you just used gently into the floor, tummy muscles are on, opposite oblique holds as the leg lifts to tabletop. Fingertips up towards the ceiling, inhale here, exhale, take the arms behind, tap the foot towards the floor, and inhale, come back. So exhale as you lower, drawing those abdominals in. They're bracing, using the breath. If you need to, you can have your arms a little bit wider, or you just don't take them back as far. Try and keep those elbows as straight as you can without hyperextending, and just floating the leg and floating the arms. So the pelvis is heavy, the shoulder blades are heavy, the arms and legs are light. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands back up, leg to tabletop. And just extend that leg all the way out, arms overhead, and bring it back in. Exhale and inhale. Checking that pelvis is still, so drawing those lower abdominals to pull the pubic bone through without coming out of neutral spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hands back up to the ceiling. Take an inhale here, keeping the arms here. Exhale, take the leg out, down, up, and in. So just keep breathing. It doesn't really matter when you breathe in or out as long as everything stays still. So you can go inhale out, exhale down, inhale up, exhale in. Just take the focus to the pelvis, making sure it's still, the shoulders are relaxed, reaching and pointing through the toes. And we'll do 3 more here. Remember to blow all that air out as you exhale to close those ribs without the spine flexing and without any changes in that upper body. Last one here. Lower the leg, lower the arms. Bring your hands into top position, fingers are clasped behind the head, elbows are wide in that peripheral vision, shoulders down and back, scoop the shoulder blades here. Take an inhale, T-zone, exhale, curl it up, eyes on the thighs, inhale, come back down. Keep going for me, exhale, curling up, inhale, down. Try and get as close as you can without the tummy doming and the hips tucking under or the pelvis tucking under. Really think ribs to hips. So the six-pack muscles working, the obliques are working, the head is resting in the hands. Breathe out, blow all that air out as the ribs close and the obliques draw you up. 4 more. 3. 2. On the next one, hold it up there for me. 10 little pulses. Not too quick, but slow. 10, 9, 8. Flatten. Drawing up. 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, hold it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down for me. Into our obliques with the leg lift. So take an inhale here. Exhale, rotate towards your left knee. Bringing the left knee up. Inhale down, other side. Exhale, lift and rotate. Inhale down, keep going, keeping that pelvis still. As we lift, the opposite oblique is keeping that hip down. We're rotating from that thoracic. We've only got 30 degrees rotation, so don't pull on the neck. Just make it pure rotation as you lift. Eye line to down the side of that leg. Exhaling all the air out as you're lifting up. Keep going for me. 6. Floating the leg up. 5. Tummy slot down. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Come back down for me. Bring the hands out. So we're doing a closed abdominal exercise. So keep popping hands back onto top. Bring your left leg to tabletop. Lift and rotate slightly. Pop your right hand on that left knee. So now think about opposite rib to hips and just pulse it up slow, pushing the hand into the knee, knee into the hand. 10, 9, it's a small and precise movement. 8, 7, pushing the hand into the knee. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. That should have hurt. Let's do the other side. Lift that, float that other leg up to tabletop. Lift and rotate. That left hand on the right knee. Inhale here, exhale, pulse it up. Opposite rib to hip. Small but precise movements. Feeling ready. I did this last night. Breathing out. Tummy tight. Keep going for me. 4, 3, 2, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Just have a full body stretch there. Allow the back to arch. Let go of the abdominals. Just have a nice big stretch there. And release it there. Bring the hands back beside you. Feet and knees squeeze together. Float them up into tabletop for me. Lower the feet towards the bottom. Reverse curls. Using the lower abs, so that's lower parts of that six-pack muscle. Curl the pubic bone to the belly button. Lifting the hips off the floor. Lower back down. So keep going for me, slow and controlled. So you should be able to stop anywhere in this movement if you are using your lower abdominals and not momentum. Check in that the upper body isn't changing, so we don't want to be sinking into that thoracic spine. We want to keep the shoulders opened. Bring the knees in towards the shoulders, focusing on those lower abdominals. Slow and controlled. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, hold it up there as high as you can using the abdominals. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just lower the legs back down. So we're going to add in the upper body here. Inhale here, exhale, curl both ends together. Reaching the fingertips. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, up. And inhale, down. Keep going for me. 5, 4, getting close. I've got my ISO belly in the way at the moment, so I have to get over that as well. 2. On the next one, hold it up there. 8 pulses, both ends. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Have a nice big stretch. Reaching up, arch the back. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, last exercise here. Interlock the hands again. Feet and knees squeeze together. Up on your tippy toes. Tummy's tight, T-zone tight. Inhale here, exhale, curl up. Float the legs up and lower them down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Using lower abs and hip flexors to bring the legs up. Using the abdominals to resist as you go back down. Smooth and controlled. Coming up as high as you can, ribs towards the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2. After this one, you can do another set of these or come with me and extend both legs out and draw back in. Exhale out, inhale in. 5. Choose your option. 4, if you can't keep your spine in neutral or a little bit imprinted, go back to the previous exercise. 2, 1, and lower the legs one at a time and lower the upper body. Well done, guys. Let's go into some glutes. So we're going to start with our feet and knees squeezed together. Arms out to the side or a little bit out to the side. Palms up, shoulders are open. So let's check the back of the neck is long, chin is in, T-zone, neutral spine. Squeeze the bottom and just hinge straight up. Inhale, come back down, but don't quite touch. Exhale up, inhale down. Focus on squeezing the butt cheeks together. So imagine those hips are really narrowing. Reaching the knees over the feet and getting a nice stretch through the front of the thighs. Because the feet and knees are squeezed together and you've got tight hip flexors and quads, we've got to work through that. So allow that stretch to happen if you can. If you are really tight, you will find this a little bit restrictive, but get the glutes to fire to allow the front of the legs to lengthen. Stay here for a while, because your first rep is when you feel it in the bottom, not when you start. So if you're not feeling it, touch it, make sure it's working. Those butt cheeks are squeezing together. 4, 3, 2, hold it up there for me. Hold it up as high as you can without the ribs popping. Tuck the pubic bone under, and 10 slow pulses. 10, 9, squeezing the legs. 8, ribs are closing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, hold it up as high as you can. Close the ribs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back down for me. Separate the legs. Tripods on the feet. Right leg to tabletop. Single leg bridge. Inhale here. Exhale up. Inhale down, but don't quite touch. Exhale up. Inhale down. Keep going. The leg that's in tabletop, think about that knee reaching up towards the ceiling to try and keep those hips level. Pushing through the heel, tripods on the foot, so we still want that big toe pressing into the floor as well, and the arch is staying lifted. Keep the little tuck of the pubic bone when you get to the top. And let's do 4, 3, 2. On the next one, hold it up there. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down for me. Place that leg down, and let's set up for the other one. So let's bind the tripod on the foot first. Squeeze the bottom. Palms up towards the ceiling. Other leg in tabletop position. Inhale here, exhale up and lower down. Take notice of what side feels less stable or not as strong. So we need that side to catch up to the other side. We don't want to keep one side getting stronger and stronger without the not so strong stroke catching up. So if you feel fatigued, that's okay. You might need to stop on your weaker side, have a little rest, and then come back into it. Always want to make sure you're feeling it in the right spot. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, hold it up there for me. Hold, tuck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down for me. Bring the legs together. So heels are together, and just let the legs come out to the side. Don't completely let them flop. So my feet are still on the floor, but they're in that V position here. So in this position, I'm taking the hip flexors out now, and the quads out a little bit. Squeeze the bottom and hinge up, pressing the heels in towards each other, and lower back down. Squeeze and lift, and lower. Heels squeezing together, hips are level. Every time you breathe out, think ribs closing on that last bit of air coming out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down for me. Separate the feet, hip distance apart, fingertips up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. So we're into a pelvic curl now. So let's draw the shoulders into the sockets, arm bones into the socket, shoulders down and back. Inhale here. Use your lower abs first. Curl the pubic bone to the belly button. Feel that lower back round into the mat. Squeeze the butt cheeks together, peeling the spine up one vertebra at a time. Coming up onto the tips of the shoulder blades here. Hold that position. Float the arms back behind you, rest them on the floor. Start right up the top of that back, floating the spine down away from those arms. Feel the upper back press into the floor and come back down. Just lift up the bottom off the floor and just lengthen that tailbone away from you a little bit more, so we've got more length through that spine now. Inhale here, tuck the pubic bone towards the belly button, rounding up, just leave the arms there now. Again, if this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, bring them back down beside your body. Crown of the head reaching away, arms reaching away, float the spine down, trying to think of each vertebra is independent of the other one. As that lower back hits, the hip bones roll towards you, then lengthen the tailbone away. Lift the bottom up again, lengthen the tailbone a little bit more, lay it back down. So we're really getting that traction in the spine happening. Inhale here, exhale, curl. Squeeze. Stretch the front of the hips. Lengthen the arms away. Inhale here, exhale, floating back down. So it's up to you if you want to lift the hips up at the end of the movement to get a little bit more traction, as long as it's not pulling you out of your neutral spine. We're just getting more traction and lengthening the spine in between each repetition. Any pain in the neck, back or joints, please stop. So part of Pilates is to lengthen the body and create more space. So it's just learning to do it by just changing the exercises a little bit. So I'm going to lift my butt up again. Reach the tailbone away a little bit more, lower it down, shoulders down and back. Last one here, curling it up. Floating it back down. Float the hands back and all the way to the floor. Well done, guys. So let's work on a little bit of rotation. So bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Getting a little bit hot now. Legs into tabletop, one at a time. Squeeze the feet and knees together. So take your arms over to the right and your legs over to the left. Only as far as you can. Opposite hip will come back, come off the mat. Use those obliques to center back up. Other side, arms, so your eyes can follow those fingertips, and then coming back up. So again, you only take it as far that feels comfortable for you, using those obliques to bring the body back to center. So I'm trying to reach the top arm away a little bit more. Just flowing movement. Do one more each side. Other side. And lower the legs down one at a time. Bring your arms out to the side and let your legs drop over to one side or to the opposite side. Have a little bit of a release there in the back. And breathe. Always forget to breathe. Especially when it starts to get a bit tougher. Okay. Roll onto your front, so into a 4-point kneeling position for me. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes under for me. So have that weight not all in the hands, so bring that weight back over the hips a little bit. Tuck the toes, use the lower abdominals to lift the knees off the floor. And then tap them towards the floor and lift. So even Now the hips are working as well. Try and just imagine the lower abs are the only ones lifting those knees up towards the body. Back of the neck, long chin in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down for me. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's just go into a cat stretcher. Tuck the tail under, rounding through the whole spine. Reaching the chest towards the floor, eyes up. Just a nice stretch through that spine. Last 2. Last 1. And release it then. So we're going to practice getting into a plank position. 4-point kneeling, shoulders down and back. Back of the neck, long chin in, lifting the tummy up towards the spine. Place your left foot back, toes tucked under. Right leg back, hold that position. Lower the hips a little bit, tuck the pubic bone under, hold that position. If you need to, you can lower the knees towards the floor. Other than that, stay up here. Bring your right knee towards your left hand, rounding through the spine. And then back. Left knee towards the right hand, rounding towards the spine, rounding the spine, and back. 4 more to each side. 4, 3, using those obliques a little bit. 2 now. 2, and 1. Lower the knees down, and just come back into a rest position. Coming back up. So now we're going into a Pilates push up. So options are to be on your toes, a box position, which is a 4-point, just in that 4-point position, or take the knees back and come into that plank position in that diagonal. Press the hands into the floor, shoulders down and back, chin in. So we're going down for the count of 3. So tuck the pubic bone through. So it's 3, 2, 1, and up. 3, 2, 1, and up. 3, 2, 1, and up. Last 2. 3, 2, 1, and up. 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more. 3, 2, 1, and up. Reach that bottom back into a rest position. Okay, working on the upper body. So we're going into a side plank. So with the side plank, it's more of a dip to get those obliques working. So that you're up on your elbow, your knees are bent, so just in front of the body. This arm's pressing into the floor and towards the waist. And imagine these ribs coming forward. So we're lifting up out of that shoulder. T-zone, neutral spine. Think of a piece of string here, lifting you up. So we're getting into that nice diagonal line. Hold. Crease at the hips, lower back down. Just touch the hips to the floor and lift back up. And inhale back and up. Keep going. 5. You can have this arm up here if you need. 4, 3, working those obliques. 2, 1, hold it up there. You can separate that top leg and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Well done, guys. Let's work a little bit more on these glutes. You can stay up in this position to make it harder, or you can come and lie down into that position. So choose your options. So we're working on the shoulder stability here as well as your obliques, as well as those glutes. So bring those knees into about 45 degrees, lift that leg up so they're separated. Take the leg back behind you, squeeze the bottom, the abs are resisting. Bring that leg back in front, the lower back is working to resist as well. Take the leg back and and bring it forward. Exhale back, inhale forward. So we're thinking about that shoulder stability, the obliques, mobility in the hip, and the glutes are working here. Okay. So when I take the leg back, ribs to hips. When I bring the leg forward, that lower back stays extended, so it doesn't arch though. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it back there for me. Flex that foot, squeeze the bottom, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Separate the leg again and reach it out long, externally rotate it. So using that bottom muscle here, lifting up out of that shoulder. Lift and lower. So if you're just getting into that butt muscle, you won't get as high as if you're using your lower back, and that is what we want. So if you're just collapsing and wobbling through the waist, it's working the spine, not the muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, give it a rub if you need. And we'll swap over to the other side. We'll start with that side plank. So remember, set the arm underneath. Legs are about 45 degrees. Stable the shoulders. So let's press the arm into the mat, draw it towards you, press up out of that shoulder, rotate those ribs forward. Okay? Lift up using these sideway muscles. I'm using my speech. And down. Showing my age today. And down. Exhale up. Grandma brain for sure. Lift and lower. So I'm increasing at the hips to take the bottom back, using those obliques. I have the arm up if you need. A little bit of a challenge. 5. So it's a little bit like a squat movement as well. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there. Bring that leg out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower. Okay, let's go into our version of a clam, I suppose. Press the arm in. Ribs around. Lift that leg up. Bend the knee in and press it back. Squeeze. Bring it forward and back. So let's lift up out of that shoulder. Obliques are working. Mobility in the hip. Glutes for strength. Making sure that leg doesn't drop. Keeping it bent so it's not as much load through that back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's press it back. Hold and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the leg out. Externally rotate that leg. Squeeze the bottom and lift and lower. Not collapsing into that waist. Pushing the elbow into the floor. Breathing, keeping that knee straight. Feeling the butt lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Roll onto your belly. Arms out to the side where they're comfortable for you. Legs along. So if you've got, when you're lying on your belly, if you've got a bit of a belly or you've got bigger legs or muscly legs, it's okay to have your legs a little bit wider to give you a little bit more room. So let's think. Lift that pelvic floor up first. Draw the pubic bone towards the mat without squeezing the bottom. It's not about the glutes, it's about the lower abs pulling the pubic bone through. Shoulders down and back, chin in. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the face and chest off the floor using those upper back muscles. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Keep going for me. Imagine that piece of string on the back of your, the tops of the shoulders, the back of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Crown of the head is reaching towards the front of the room. Pivoting from that brow line without going into the lower back. Keeping that tailbone lengthening away through the legs using those lower abdominals. Think elbows are sliding back towards the waist as you lift to help you give you a little bit more of a pivot. So for those of you that have got more flexibility, you can come up. So we're coming up with the upper back. Press the hands into the floor. Straighten arms as much as you can. That feels okay. Shoulders down and back. Elbows come down, chest comes down, face comes down. So choose your option here. So inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lower. Exhale, release. So just keep going through that movement, just slow as you need to. And as you get better at it, you might get a little bit higher. But if you only need to come to here, that's okay. As soon as you feel that lower back start to activate too much, and you've lost that T-zone and the lower abs, stop and have a break. Let's do 2 more if you can. And the next one, hold it up there, have a nice stretch through the abdominals. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it there. Come up into a child pose. We'll just finish with a child pose stretch. So however you feel comfortable, knees together, knees apart. Reach the bottom back, tuck it under. Reach the arms forward. Lower the armpits and forehead towards the floor. And breathe. If this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, you can pop them behind you. Or if it's uncomfortable for your knees, you can come up higher. Or just come onto your back and bring your knees in towards your chest. Walk your hands over to your right. Left hand's on top. Reach that left hand away and the left hip away from each other. Have a nice stretch down the side of the body. Walk the hands over to the other side. Right hand's on top. Reach it away. Hips reaching away. Bring the hands back to the center. Let's walk up, just come back up. Just come to the front in a cross-legged position. Just stretch out those glutes now. So sitting up nice and tall, just walk the hands out. Flop over those legs if you can. If this doesn't feel right for your spine, then just do the lying stretch for your glutes. You'll get a bit of a stretch here as well. Walk the hands up and just swap the legs over whatever way you have them across. Swap them over. Walk them out. So if you guys need to stay a bit longer, do some more stretches that you need for your body, please do. Other than that, just take a few breaths here. Walk the hands back in. Just place your hands on your knees. Big breath in and out. Let the abdominals go now, that's okay. So let's practice breathing into the belly and out. So remember, we talk about that T-zone connection a lot. It's okay to rest it. You need to rest it and let it expand. So big breath in and out. Expand the whole belly. Last one here. And you guys are done. So enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for joining in. Bye.
Beautiful.